guys, it's Becca, and today we're going to be talking about two amazing postures in yoga. They're amazing and common. So, two common postures that have amazing benefits. And I'm going to give you some progressions towards them as well, only because these positions can be a little bit more difficult. Now, we aren't getting on and off the mat a lot. We're going to be mostly on the mat on our knees. So we're not going to be standing up, sitting down, standing up, sitting down, but I'm going to show you three progressions for our up dogs and our down dogs. So in our downward dog stretch, you probably heard of a downward dog before and maybe tried them, done them, that kind of thing. So it has amazing benefits, and it's stretching the whole backside and lower side of our body. So those hamstrings, our calves, our ankles, strengthens our upper body, shoulders, midsection, back. Stimulates blood flow. With our head being below our heart in our down dog, it stimulates blood flow towards the brain, the face, and helps with vasoconstriction and dilation as well. It improves your posture over time. So strengthening those shoulder muscles in midsection really improves the posture as well. And it also fine tunes your muscles in your feet. And so if you're having foot problems and sore feet all the time, maybe your feet aren't mobile, down dogs are amazing for it. And I'm going to show you some little tricks you can do with your feet there as well. Now, in our up dog, maybe you haven't heard of this one as much, but we're going to be transferring or transitioning from our down dogs to our up dogs today. And I'm going to be able to do three progressions on how to do them. And our up dogs open up our chest, so the front side of our body, stimulates our abdominal muscles as well. So not only our front abdominals, but around our backs and our spines as well. It lengthens and strengthens our spines, and it really helps with stability in the wrists and strengthening through the arms and the wrists as well. So tons of great benefits in these two postures. And like I said, I'm going to give you three progressions for both of them and three transitions, how to get to both of them. And if you practice these, they might be hard in the beginning, but if you practice them, 3 times a week, I promise you, your whole body is going to thank you. It's going to lengthen and strengthen your whole body in these two positions, which is kind of cool. So with me today, I have my mat, obviously, and for my first progression, so if you haven't done these positions that much before, you might want to grab a chair. So I have a chair here when I'm sitting on, and I'm going to put it at the front of my mat. So you want your chair in a position, obviously, where it is not going to slide around on you. You want to have it stable. So maybe up against a wall, just not where it's going to slide around on me. So make sure that your chair is nice and sturdy for this progression. Otters, we're actually just going to sit on our chair to warm up. So grab a seat. You can put your chair at the front of your mat. I'm just going to sit here first. So our wrists, once you do start yoga, you might find that your wrists, they feel it a little bit. And that's just because your body is not used to having weight onto your hands. It's not a natural thing to walk on our hands or have weight on our hands. But it can give lots of great benefits to your wrists, arms, and fingers. So that's kind of cool. So we're just going to bring awareness to our wrists here first of all. And I'm just going to grab hold of one wrist and I'm just going to wring it out. So maybe just getting some circulation in there, just rubbing it out. See how your wrists feel today. Move them around a little bit. Just grabbing some circulation, massaging into them. You can do it on both sides. So good awareness just to bring to your wrist before all your yoga practices, especially if you are on your hands and knees or on your wrists a lot. Clasp your fingers, and we're just going to do this funky little 80s move, like dance move. I'm not sure what this is called, but very effective to stretch out the fingers, the wrists, a little bit into the arms there as well. And maybe just stretch out your fingers there. Good. And then just shake it out a little bit. And then we're just going to take our hands to the side as if we're pressing two walls away from us from side to side. So really pointing those fingers up and extending the arms. So you can probably feel that right away in the wrists and the arms. And then we're just going to lift them up and then bring them down a couple times there. Keep breathing. So maybe inhaling as you lift and exhale as you bring down. Sure, you can start to feel that right through the wrists and through the hands and the arms. Good. And we'll shake that out a little bit. Good. I'm just going to return my chair to the front of my mat here. So depending on where your limitations and where your flexibility is at, you can also use the back subject of your chair to start as well. So maybe if you've never done down dogs or upward dogs before, use this side of the chair. Like you've been working on it, but it's still a little challenging, you can use this side of the chair. So from here, I'm just going to do a little knee bend, and my feet are going to be hip distance apart. Placing my hands on top of the chair. If you feel like you need more stability, you can actually grab onto the sides of the chair here if you want. I prefer my hands out in front and my middle fingers pointing forward. So that's really up to you. I'm going to take a couple steps back here. Okay, and as I do, I'm going to start to lengthen through my arms. My shoulders start to extend, and I'm going to start to let my head go between my arms and just allowing my head to be heavy between my arms here. So step back as far as you need. And as you step back, see if you can take your tailbone and point it up towards the sky. And you're really bringing it in your belly button and engaging your lower tummy here, guys. So imagine bringing your belly button towards the spine as you drop your head towards the arms and lean back. Maybe your heels touch the ground, maybe they don't, and that's okay. And right here, we're gonna create a little bit of movement, okay? So we're just gonna walk our dome, like I like to say, bending into one knee and lengthening the other. Keep breathing, long deep breaths. So breathing right down into the abdomen and exhaling fully and completely. Nice deep long breaths here. Just playing around. You can even shake out your head if that feels good. And then we're going to see if we can bring both heels down. And, don't force it. This is your practice. See what feels good for you. And we'll take 2 deep breaths there, really trying to extend the hips up towards the sky, lengthening through the spine. You can let the head go if that feels good as well. So you might feel some pressure in your head, blood flow towards your head, and that is a good thing. And your muscles engaging in the front and upper half and stretching out in the back and lower half here. Good. So as we transition into up dog, you're going to slowly bring your weight forward into your hands. And then you're going to start to engage the tummy muscles coming up onto the toes. And you're going to reach your head up towards the sky. So we don't want to dip right down into it, but we want to keep our tummy muscles engaged and open up our chest. So we're shooting our chest and our heart forward here, keeping our head nice and long and strong. So our necks are nice and long here. Couple deep breaths. So I'm engaging my whole front half here. Okay. And back half. Couple breaths there. Good. And then if you start bending into the knees and coming back, sometimes it feels good to come right back into downward dog for a moment. Walk up towards your chair and you can roll off one vertebrae at a time. So that is progression 1. And, the more you do it, the easier it becomes. And then maybe you can get down on your mat for the next one. All right, progression 2. We're going to move our chairs out of the way for now. And we're going to come onto our hands and knees, mister. So bring yourself into tabletop position here, where your wrists are underneath the shoulders and the knees are underneath the hips. Spread your fingers nice and wide, getting yourself a good base of support here. Okay, I like to do a couple stretches before I get into my down dog. First one is called Happy Puppy. So in Happy Puppy, we're going to walk our hands out in front. Keep your hips nice and high. So same thing as in your down dog. Hips stay nice and high here. And then you're going to see if you can try to bring your chest down towards the floor, keeping the hips high. Your forehead might come onto the floor. If you have a lot of flexibility in your shoulders and your neck, your chin might come down. And we're going to hold there for a couple breaths. If this bugs your shoulders, keep it nice and light, okay? Bend the elbows, you sink back. See what feels good to you. Never force, okay, guys? Never force yourself into a position that your body doesn't like right now. Doesn't mean it might not like it in a couple weeks if you work on it, but never force it at the time. So a couple breaths there, our chest is coming down towards the floor. Nice deep shoulder and chest stretch here. I'm stretching out my upper back. Good. We'll start to walk our way back into neutral. So wrist underneath the shoulders again. And then I'm just going to tuck my toes under and stretch out my toes. So tuck your toes under and then make sure they're all tucked under, even those little baby toes. Sure, they're all tucked under. And so we're stretching out our toes and our feet. And you can even come a little side to side here, just massaging into the feet. If you feel okay in this position, you can even sit up onto your toes or onto your heels if that feels okay. Once again, don't force it. So anything that feels good there, just to stretch out those toes before we get into our down dogs. Good. So essentially the same thing we did coming into our down dog from our chair, except this time we're on the mat, toes are tucked under here. We're going to start to lean back a little bit as we did when we had our chair. And then we're going to start to use and engage our muscles in our legs and inner core to take the knees off the ground. Once that happens, your head can just let go between the arms there. Head as heavy as it actually is. Just let it go. Okay? And then we're going to start gently by walking our dog again. So maybe pressing one heel down at a time. Keep lifting the hips nice and high. See if you can turn your triceps towards the mat. And that's going to give you a little bit more stability in the shoulders. So just taking your triceps or the back of your arm and turning it towards the mat. Walk your dog here for a couple breaths. Keep breathing. So you'll start to feel that stretch as you're moving around. And then if you're ready, we'll start to send both heels towards the ground. Once again, they don't have to hit the ground. Takes years of practice for those heels to come down, and that's okay. And a couple deep breaths there in your down dog. So you can feel everything working there as well. Now the transition, we're going to shift our weight into a plank. So just shifting our shoulders back over our wrist again. Everything starts to engage our legs, our core, our tummies, our back. So everything is engaged and strong here. Really pushing into the mat and running kind of our upper back there. Keep stable. You can drop your knees here. And we're going to come all the way down onto our bellies, keeping our elbows tucked in towards the rib cage. So as you come down, keep the elbows tucked in and lower all the way to the ground. We won't be here long. Good. Once you're there, you can plant your forehead for a breath. And then on the next inhale, you're going to sweep forehead, nose, chin, head comes up into a baby cobra. So same thing. We don't want to come up too high where you feel it in the lower back. Just come up until you feel like you can send your chest forward. So we're opening up through the chest and heart here rather than craning and crunching into the lower back. Really send your shoulders back away from the ears and press the chest forward. Sometimes I almost feel like I want to push myself forward, coming across the room. Couple breaths. To come out of that, we're going to push right back into child's pose for a couple breaths, just to allow that counter pose to let our bodies and settle in just a moment. So any pose here in child's pose that feels good for you as a resting pose. So in a resting pose, use it. Use that word resting pose to rest. Take a moment to scan your body and listen and learn. Where are you holding tension? Can you let it go? Is it in the face, the neck, the shoulders, the back? See if you can let it go in this resting pose. So taking as long as you need there. And progression 3 from our down dogs to our up dogs. Same thing. Come right back into your tabletop position. We're going to get right into our down dog as we did before. So tucking those toes under, leaning back first, maybe straightening at the arms and sending the hips up. Keep a good knee bend so you get your hips nice and high first of all, and let the head drop between the arms. You can start by pedaling out once again if that felt good to you. It always goes good to me to move around into my down dog. If it feels good to be still here and hold for a few breaths, you can do that as well. Good. And then we'll start to float our weight forward back into that plank position. So engaging all the muscles here, really feeling strength in this position. Grounding down through the hands and rounding through the upper back here. Engage the legs, pull the kneecaps up, engage the tongue. So this time, we're going to lower down into a half push-up or chaturanga. Same thing, keep the elbows tucked in towards the rib cage, coming down halfway. This time, we're going to push up into up dog. You can flick your toes under. And still same thing. So pressing into the mat with the hands, getting longer and taller through the spine. My tummy is actually contracting here, not to drop into the position. So I'm really contracting my legs and my core and seeing if I can send my spine and my head a little higher towards the ceiling. Couple breaths. And you got it, guys. Let's take right back into child's pose for a couple of breaths. So you can stand as long as you need in that nice position, or you can roll over onto your back, come into a neutral position for a few breaths to finish off your practice. Now, those are 3 great progressions, maybe even to start your day, and see where you're at and see if you can work your way up more and more each time you do it, and listen to your body. Okay, guys? I mean, you guys know your body and as a rule of thumb the best, right? You can be your own best teacher. If something's not feeling right that day, back off a little bit. Try the lower progression and then see if you can work up again. All right. Also, you guys, thank you. Have an amazing rest of your day. Bye, guys.